Welcome to ACC Student News.
Oh,
Welcome to ACC Student News.
the new student can use I'm Joselin.
And I'm Israel. Here are this week's stories. A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has gone into effect that marks the beginning of the end to the more than 2-year brutal war. Some of the proposed terms include Israel agreeing to release 250 Palestinians serving long-term sentences and 1,700 additional prisoners from the Gaza Strip who were arrested in 2023. They also said that Hamas is expected to release all the hostages, including the remains of 28 who died in captivity. According to the Israel Defense Forces, they will continue to be developed in the area and prepare for any operational development.
A 53-year-old man was put to death in Indiana, making it the third execution since resuming capital punishment last year. Roy Lee Ward was executed after being convicted of murder and rape of a teenage girl in 2021. He pled guilty in 2017 and was declined by the Supreme Court to stop the death penalty. He spent more than 2 decades trying to change the sentences. The Indiana Supreme Court declined to stay the execution, and Governor Mike Brown rejected the bid. According to the Indiana Department of Corrections, Ward's last meal was from Texas Corral and included a hamburger, and his last words were, "Brian is going to read them."
200 members from multiple units in the Texas National Guard and 300 members from the Illinois National Guard have been activated in Chicago. The troops are stationed at the Army Reserve Center in Elmwood, just outside of Joliet. According to President Trump, he is sending the troops to Chicago as part of a crime-fighting and immigration effort. But Democrats are pushing back, calling it a political motivated move against its perceived enemies and an overreach of an authority. A Pentagon spokesperson said the troops would work to support ICE and other federal personnel as well as federal property. A judge in Oregon granted a temporary restraining order to block Trump from sending National Guard troops there as the case is considered in court.
Armed agents from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Department were removed from the Hammond Police Department. The agents were staging an operation when city officials informed them that they were not authorized to stage operations on city property. According to the Times, the agents reportedly complied and relocated their operation elsewhere in the city. Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr. stated on social media that he is deeply concerned that federal agents would enter and use Hammond's property without permission, especially when federal courthouse is located 1 block west of the police headquarters. The East Chicago Police Department also released a statement that they believed there was an ICE operation. However, they were not involved.
The Northwest Indiana region is about to get their Pizza Huts back after the abrupt shutdown last year. Restaurants all over Lake County and Porter County shut down after the franchise group defaulted on its franchise payments by failing to make more than $5.6 million in payments owed. In a lawsuit, it stated that the franchise suffered due to lack of innovation as well as inflation and labor costs. More than 200 workers lost their jobs. The franchise group failed to find a buyer at auction, but new group is going to be reviving some locations. These locations include restaurants in Maryville, Hammond, and Winfield. Other locations are being redeveloped by different companies and franchises. That's all the news we have for now.
Stay tuned for more news after the break.
your talent one, right? Okay.
Welcome back to ACC Student News.
Here are the rest of the stories.
The Federal Aviation Administration is reporting staffing shortage at air traffic control operation as the government shutdown continues. Shortages were reported in 9 facilities from Washington, D.C. to Chicago. The FAA report nearly 21,000 flights have been delayed this week. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning that the government could dismiss air traffic controllers who repeatedly failed to show up during the shutdown, and he is praising the ones that do not show up despite not getting paid. The union has repeatedly urged controllers to keep working during this 9-day government shut. 13,000 air traffic controllers and about 50,000 Transportation Security Administration officers must still show up for work during this shutdown, but they are not getting paid.
British police released a statement saying that they have disrupted a criminal network suspected of smuggling up to 40,000 stolen mobile phones from the UK. It was the largest staged operation, and it uncovered an international gang that is believed to be responsible for exporting up to 40% of all stolen phones in London. A total of 46 people were arrested in the operation. Detective Inspector Mark Gavin said that the thieves were being paid up to $403 per handset and uncovered evidence that the devices were being sold up to $5,000 in China.
ICE agents raided homes in Chicago and Hammond, Indiana, detaining more than 30 black residents early last week. Witnesses say agents broke down doors, used zip ties, and detained some U.S. citizens by mistake. Community leaders are calling the raids racial profiling and demanding a federal investigation into ICE's actions.
Police in Hammond, Indiana found a woman dead inside a closet during a welfare check on Summer Street. Officers say that the body was hidden under pillows and luggage. The victim has been identified as Kimberly Murphy, a woman in her late 30s. The coroner ruled her death a homicide, saying she died from asphyxiation and blunt force trauma. An East Chicago man with a protective order against her has been charged with murder.
ICE agents arrest 2 teenagers in Cranford, New Jersey after a Jeff Kirk fan allegedly rammed them with his Jeep for mocking Charlie Kirk. The victims, both 17, were riding an e-bike when struck. The suspect claimed he was acting in a retaliation after one girl mocked Kirk's death online. Authorities have charged him with first-degree murder as community members outraged by his motive demand justice.
That's all the news we have for this week. I'm Saz.
And I'm Israel. Make sure to check out the rest of our videos on YouTube.
And follow us on Instagram at ACC Hammond. ACC.